Welcome everyone to this week's Hump Day Market Recap series. If you guys are enjoying this type of market review videos with Charts Focus 1, make sure you guys let me know by commenting down below and subscribing to the CFO or Charts Focus 1 YouTube channel if you are new. And of course, for good luck for the rest of this week, press that like button down below. Make sure you guys smash that like button. All right, with that, let's begin. So the S&P 500 or SPY or the general market has pretty much been range bound, and it's been range bound in between these two specific levels that I've told you guys since last week. And what are those two levels? Well, we have the upper resistance level at 532 and the lower range support level at 524. Now, the past few trading days, including yesterday, we have been hugging very close to my daily 10 SMA, my red line right over here. And then today, we got an indication that we weren't able to hold over this daily 10 SMA, and we might not be able to hold over this daily 10 SMA for the next few days or even next few weeks when we closed below the daily 10 SMA. And this means that the price is now stuck in between my daily 10 SMA and my daily 21 SMA, this light blue line. So this truly indicates that the market wants to retest this daily 21 SMA after breaking over and reclaiming the daily 10 and the daily 21 SMA on May 3rd, which was a Friday. Okay, so on this specific trading day. And with the fact that the daily 21 SMA is now catching up pretty quickly, we can see maybe tomorrow or maybe into Friday an official retest of this daily 21 SMA. So that means that we might see, and we should be seeing, a breach of this 524 support level. And once we do see a breach of this 524 level, it'll be a very quick drop back down to retest the daily 21 SMA, which I would assume should be around 522 to 522.50 by the time we reach this SMA. All right. Now, another indication that is kind of telling us that the markets want to pull back is the VIX, right? The volatility index of the S&P 500. So today we ended up with flying green colors to the upside, right? And this is telling us that, hey, it might be time to kind of pull back on trying to grab as many positions as possible or trying to leverage into one single position with a lot more risk as possible, right? We need to be pulling back on all of our buying activities. And so with the VIX recently hitting really low lows, that's how I would describe it there, it seems like the market makers want to make sure that all of us are not becoming complacent, and well, the VIX is clearly telling us to not become complacent, and is starting to expand after weeks of contraction. Right now, at this point, it's months of contraction after the most recent large pivot to the upside. And so today's nice gap up and nice move up higher and nice close up higher is clearly indicating to us that the markets are ready for a potential slight pullback. Right now, I am not expecting the VIX to, breach the value of 15 or even get up to, 17 or even 19. But what I'm looking for is a slight pullback again of the S&P 500 back to its daily 21 SMA for that initial and first retest. And if that retest holds, if we do use, excuse me guys, the daily 21 SMA as a new area of SMA support, we should be seeing some longs coming back in, short and long-term longs coming back in, or buyers, to provide us with the next pivot point to reach the previous all-time high level at 533.07 and ultimately new all-time high levels as well. Okay, now last but not least, I want to go over the VIX futures. So VIX futures have also been a huge indicator as to whether or not we should be taking on more risk or starting to pull back on our risk-taking activities. And so far, the VIX futures right now currently is seeing a slight gap up, and it's holding its gains. So overnight, we might see some more pullback on the futures market overall. However, there is still a slight chance that we can be making a slight intermittent top for the VIX and an intermittent bottom on the overnight futures market. So make sure you guys are taking a look at that as well. Okay. All right, now let's move on to the actual topic of this Hump Day Market Recap video. I want to make sure I have a little bit of emphasis on what I just said there. So, CRM. CRM has had a pretty harsh day today after market close because it had a very bad earnings reaction. And in fact, it has completely erased all the gains it has made this year so far, so year to date, and all the gains that it made in early to late December. Right? So after hours, it reacted to some really bad guidance and outlook that the company reported on the earnings report. And also, it missed on earnings revenue as well. And that resulted in the stock going all the way back down to around a low of around, I believe, $223, or maybe even went back down to $222, which means it has completely erased all the gains that it made in the previous quarterly earnings report on November 29th, so 2 quarters ago. So this is a complete 100% erasure of the gains that we saw since late November and the entire month of December of 2023. And at the end, okay, so at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Salesforce or CRM closed at $228.10, or it was down negative 16% plus. That's a huge drop. And based on the daily relative strength index as seen here, we closed at a value of 39.75. So that means by market open tomorrow, we should be seeing the RSI somewhere close to the value of 20 or maybe even below 20 on the daily time frame. That's very oversold. And if you take a look on the weekly time frame, the weekly ended up at 49.40 for the RSI. And based on how we open tomorrow, the RSI should be somewhere near the actual oversold value of 30 or slightly above 30 on the weekly time frame. So basically, in all, the weekly and the daily should be showing really oversold indications from the relative strength index. Okay, relative strength indicator here. Okay, so again, I don't know why I always get confused with the RSI, but I've been saying relative strength index and relative strength indicator, but you guys know what I mean. It is a technical indicator, but the official name is relative strength index. So CRM, what I'm trying to get at here is we can potentially see a reversal trade right at market open, as we see a lot of these short sellers that have been present after hours today taking profits at market open or even during pre-market hours. And just for the fact that we are seeing such oversold technicals here, just based simply on the price action, and on top of that, the RSI. There is an opportunity for early morning bulls to try to drive the price up higher very, very quickly, and then create a top. And from that point forward, I would not care what the price would do next, because we are trying to get in right at that morning drive up higher as the sellers from today and overnight start to take profits, and we start to see some early morning bulls like us come in with some buys. So with this oversold indication, and for the fact that sellers should be taking profits, we want to be in at that early morning pump. And so here is the options chain for CRM. And what I'm going to be looking for is a pretty risky call contract. And based on how we closed after hours today, it seems like it will be pretty safe to look for some at the money contracts. Okay, so based on the June 7th expiration date, and based on how we closed at 228, I would want to be looking for a potential call contract of 235 for the strike. Okay, so 235 or 230. Now, obviously the premiums have not been updated yet, and it will be updated by market open tomorrow, but I'll be hawking and honing in on both of these two contracts that expire on June 7th. Now, why am I looking at those two strikes? Well, simply because of the fact that if we do open up below or at around 228, there's a chance that we can retest the previous or a previous resistance level at 233. That's right, this is a daily level of now resistance, but it was previously an old level of support back in 2021. Okay, so this was a crucial level of support back in 2021, and also a critical level of resistance as well back in 2023 or last year. So there is a pretty good chance that the price becomes magnetized towards this 233 level, which really makes me want to grab the 230 strike call contracts, because at that point we will be in the money. But if there is more bullish fervor driving the price up higher early in the morning, I would want to grab 235 strike call contracts as well. Okay, so again, I am not looking to swing this trade, this specific trade. I'm only looking to grab a nice small-sized day trade or scalp from an early morning drive up higher as the sellers capitulate and take profits, and the short-term buyers like us come in to grab an opportunity to profit off of a short and brief move to the upside as it tries to make itself not be oversold, essentially, right? And so whatever the daily RSI is tomorrow, and again, it should be very oversold, all I want to see is the price driving up higher to the point where we can see the RSI come back to around the official oversold value of 30. And on top of that, I will want to see all the intraday timeframes, especially my 2-hour and the 4-hour timeframes, becoming not oversold by hitting that 30 value, or at the very minimum, going slightly over 30, maybe around 31. Okay, so now at this point I'm speculating, but all I want to see is a complete reset of the RSI back to at least the official oversold value, or slightly over the oversold value of 30. All right. Okay, so that is it for this video. If you liked what you heard, please leave a thumbs up down below and hit that subscribe button. And if you're new here and want to join the CFO Swing and Watch newsletter and the private CFO Discord, you can get 50% off for your first 30 days. All you need to do is DM me on Instagram at ChartsFocus1, and you can get that 50% off discount code for your first 30 days. Now, you guys can gain access to the current swing trades that we have right now and much more. So make sure you DM me on Instagram at TradeFocus1. Also, make sure you guys are checking out the other videos on this channel to continue your learning in trading and also to be able to apply whatever valuable information that I gave you guys on every single video. All right? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next Wednesday.